on you.
Let's talk to Nikki.
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 Kelly Minaj. Nikki.
Kelly Minaj. Hello?
I'm your biggest fan.
Hello.
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 Nikki at night.
Great reaction.
Go ahead.
Nikki, hello.
Hello.
Hi. You're on Skype with Mega64.
Yeah. I've just this is my first time calling to the podcast, and I just want to say I really like you guys, and you guys are really funny.
Thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
Welcome.
yeah, every time whenever a new video comes out, I always get like really excited because every time I watch one, it's really fun and great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I have a question. What are your like ideas for the perfect game?
The perfect game?
Yeah.
Open world, side-scrolling beat 'em up. That's it. Level up system, like a Fallout New Vegas type thing, but it's a beat 'em up. That is what I would love to play. That I have not yet.
For me, it's a single player game with a really good story that I never get sick of playing.
Yeah, I think for me it would be like a really good sci-fi story, but gameplay that is super intense, kind of whatever. Like, I don't want to just watch a movie. Like, a good story is great, but having gameplay, you know, on the level of like Metal Gear Rising, where it's just furious, like that's perfect to me. If you can blend those perfectly.
I like grand strategy games where you have control over large groups of people or entities, but I also like first or third person games where you have a huge world to explore. So I like games like Civilization, I like games like Fallout and Skyrim. I would love to see a game actually, and I've heard rumors that people were developing games like this, but I've yet to find one. Maybe the chat knows of one that already exists. I've heard that there are games that they're making that are like real-time strategy games where you control an army and you have to send your troops to, you know, take a position, or you control like the strategy of it by maneuvering your troops and sending them off to fight these battles. But then other people play that same game and it's a first-person shooter for them, and they actually...
Oh, wow. What game is this?
I don't know, but I've heard people are developing games like this where, like, for some, it's a grand strategy. You're in charge of, like, controlling the system, but for others, it's a first-person, you know, game where you're actually in there doing the fighting, getting the kills, and determining how the battles end up.
Yeah, what is? I want to know what that game is.
People, you know, some people are saying Total War. I tried to play Total War. I don't remember which one because there's so many, but I'm gonna keep looking. I've yet to find a game where I find that.
Eve did something like that? Did it?
You know, I actually was. People in the chat are mentioning Eve Online. I really didn't know what Eve Online was until like a little while ago. That was totally off my radar until I started reading these articles actually a few weeks ago about how they're having the biggest battles in Eve history. Then I realized kind of what Eve was all about, and it sounds like I would be into it, but at the same time, I feel like I'm too late to the party.
I agree, and I think you don't have enough time to devote to it.
Yeah, exactly. At this point in my life, I cannot get into Eve.
I think if it was 8 or 9 years ago, you would have been right there. You know what I mean? Like, if that game came out then, and you found out about it right when it was happening, I think you would have been on top of it. Yeah. I think you would have been all about it.
I was gonna say really quick, something that's been happening recently is so they made this new Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which is part 1 of Metal Gear Solid 5. And they made it an open world game, which Metal Gear has never done. They made a open world game. And then, so one person got to play it. They were like, okay, we're giving you 4 hours to play it. He beat the storyline in 2 hours. And reported on that. I beat it. I got to see the ending of the game in 2 hours, and then I spent the other 2 finding all this other stuff. I went back and I started finding other stuff, but then they took it from me, and it's turned into this whole thing about, oh man, this game's only 2 hours long. But like Hideo came out and said, no, we're trying to make. We don't want to make the same Metal Gear game. We wanted to make a open world, non-linear game, an exploration where I didn't mean to touch you.
Don't touch me.
But an exploration, like you're in this territory and you find your way. You find all this stuff. He's like, if you know where the end of the game is, you can go there. He said you could probably beat it in 5 minutes if all you want is to get to the ending. But the whole purpose of it is non-linear and to not whatever. But man, he'll explain all that on any news site. You could go read it and then you go to the comments and it's, oh, they're charging us $40 for a 2-hour demo. It's like you didn't even read what he said. But anyway, so I'm excited to hear what other people, not just one person who had 4 hours with it, but everybody says about it, because it's intimidating to me. I'm not really that adept at open world games. I did it again.
I know how to touch me.
But I'm curious to see. The thing is like there could be like 800 fucking hours of stuff in this game, and we don't know. Nobody's explored the map, and so it really bummed me out that people were like casting it off because you could get to the ending in 2 hours.
I don't give a shit. They'll still buy it.
And that's what Eric and I were talking about.
Give a fuck. Complain about it all you want,
yeah,
and then be there at midnight to buy it.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I give a shit?
Yep, you're not gonna buy Metal Gear Solid 5. Yup. But man, just over and over again, it's a demo. It's a glorified demo. Well, it's just a preview.
Yep.
I don't know why they keep saying preview. It's
Preview.
It's the first half of the story. It's whoosh.
Preview.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is about what happens before a war and after a war, and this is before. So in what way is it a preview? It's the part before. It's like, dude, did you guys see Fellowship of the Ring? That was a really pretty good preview of Return of the King. Anyway, that's all. Anyway, sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but
That's the perfect game.
There you have it.
the
Nikki.
perfect game. Metal Gear Solid 5. Haven't played it. The perfect game. What do you think of that, Nikki? Do you agree? Say yes.
I don't really. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Good job.
You nailed it, Nikki. You nailed your first
What do you
call.
think? What's your perfect game? What do you think?
I don't really have much of a preference since I don't really play like action games that much.
What about another genre?
What about action RPG?
Yeah, but since I'm mostly like into Pokemon, I guess, but it's kind of the same thing.
So
every
catching
time.
cute animals, that's the perfect game for you.
I guess.
Do you
you
nickname
go.
all your Pokemon, or do you just leave them like as the regular names?
Yeah, I leave them the regular names.
I nickname special ones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, I don't remember. It's been so long since I played Pokemon. But like, okay, like my starting Pokemon, I'll give him a name because I know I'm going to be dealing with this Pokemon and not a lot. I want to make it personal. If I get like a really rare Pokemon that looks like a badass, or I see a picture of it and I get a funny idea for a name, I'll throw it in there. But I'm not going to waste my time meticulously renaming every single Pokemon I catch.
Brian played, I think, Silver or something, and he named every Pokemon Paltina.
Did he beat it?
I don't know.
Yeah, because how do you make
How
a
do you-
fucking team?
Exactly.
Every
Start
Pokemon is
putting
named
him in there.
Paltina.
I guess you look at it by level.
Garrett was. I'm going to reveal a strange quirk about Garrett, whether
Okay.
he wants me to talk about it or not. He would tell me. I remember he loaded up an old save from like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
And all the names were weird, and I'm like, it seems like all these characters have girls' names. And he's like, yeah, I used to name all the characters, they'd all be X's.
I've heard of this, yeah.
Who the
Why?
hell does that?
What?
Why?
Why would you do that?
And why would you want to continue playing?
Yeah, why would you want to like be reminded of relationships that ended?
Oh, I have to get Becky in my party. Oh, God damn it, Becky. All right, you cheating asshole. Okay. She's the only one who could summon Bahamut.
I have too many ex-girlfriends. I couldn't pick like the best 8 names. That'd be tough.
That would be really tough. I don't remember
ain't
any of
easy
their
being
names, so I
sleazy.
couldn't do it. Period.
It ain't easy being sleazy. Is Eric actually has that tattooed on his tramp stamp?
That's true.
On my tramp stamp.
Yeah,
On top of it.
it covers up.
I got a tramp stamp.
It covers
I needed
up-
cover-up ink for it, so I got it's not easy being sleazy.
It's better.
That's how you do it.
Covers up the mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki,
Yep.
our perfect
Nikki-
game has ex-girlfriend names and is Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
you for
Take
calling
care.
in.
Goodbye.